I texted you about WWE, and you don't respond to my text. We're not going to talk about that right now, but I've been so locked into WWE after years of not paying attention to it, and the Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn and all the storylines they got going on right now. It's entertainment, right?
And I've stopped watching it.
Oh, I can't keep my eyes off it anymore.
I don't think I've liked it ever since the Shield broke up.
Okay,
to me, the Shield was the best.
The Shield is even better now.
Well, it's not.
It's not the Shield, but it's the Tribal Chief and the storytelling. And now that I'm older and I understand the fact that, again, like, it's still athleticism. It's still physical. It's still all those things. Like we talked about Logan Paul earlier, how amazing he's been in WWE. But the storytelling has been amazing. And
so what happened since I didn't watch it? Did Sammy? I guess Sammy refused to hit Owens.
Yeah, and Sammy took a steel chair to Roman Reigns' back, and it set me over the edge. I was watching WWE. It's been amazing. It's been amazing.
That was a lot of fun last week, like we were talking about. The UFC back out at the Apex this weekend, UFC Fight Night 218. Let's welcome to the program Kyle Nelson. Kyle, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Not too bad. We appreciate your time. I know this is just the beginning of preparation of Fight Week. What's Fight Week like for you? And like I always ask, do you try to change it up just to make it fresh, or do you want it to be just like last Fight Week?
I like the routine of it. You know, I like to know we get a pretty solid schedule when we show up to Fight Week, so I kind of have everything laid out and then kind of plan if we want to do any downtime or now that we're in Vegas, we're going to the UFC PI and stuff to get some workouts in, and then we might, check out a mall or something. Yeah, I like to try and get it all planned ahead of time, and that way I'll know, kind of when I'm going to relax, when I'm going to eat, and yeah.
How much prep time, or have you even started to prep for the fact that the fight is going to be later? This is the first time that I can remember in Vegas it's going to be so late.
Yeah, so we actually started prepping for that a little over a week ago, just to make sure that I'm kind of optimal. We started adjusting my sleep about a week ago. Started moving my training sessions better or later, so I'm ready to perform that late at night. Yeah, definitely. We put together a nice little plan to prepare for it.
I would think, and I'm kind of known for coming, I've covered the UFC since UFC 1, and I always do the red eyes to save on a lot of things, mainly money on a Saturday night hotel. And I always think it's going to be easy. The fight's over at 1, I'll stay awake till 5, I'll take a 6 in the morning flight. And it's not that easy to do. How easy will it be to kind of turn your body around in a week or so, to prepare for that?
I think the way we structured it, I think it's worked out really well. I haven't even, really noticed just how we've done it over time. My body's really adapted really well. So I think, I think by fight night, I won't even really notice the difference.
Hey, Kyle, obviously, GSP is a huge Canadian, legend in the sport. Recently, we lost Elias Theodoro. How is the state of MMA in Canada? What's the vibe there? Is it growing? Is it massive? Is it continuing to grow, or you notice?
It's doing well. It's still slowly growing. It has kind of hit a bit of a lull right now that we don't have a superstar waiting for a couple others like Charles Jourdain, Gavin Tucker, and then my training partner Mike Malott. Like we got some guys coming up that I think have the potential for star power, and I think they'll kind of kick up the fan base and everything in Canada a little bit more. But yeah, I mean it's still I think one of the more popular sports in Canada. But yeah, hopefully when I knock Choi out on Saturday, they'll shoot me into that kind of number one star of Canada.
That'll boy. There you go.
Speaking of your opponent, what are your thoughts on him? How much do you know about him, and does it even matter to know about him? Is it more what you're going to implement on Saturday?
Yeah, it's definitely more about what I'm going to do to him. I've watched some tape on him and stuff just so I understand what he's good at and where his weaknesses are and stuff like that. And I think my strengths match up well with his weaknesses. I mean, he's a great kickboxer, more of a boxer, but still he's got some kicks. I think my style just fits in well with that, kind of like a puzzle where what I'm good at, the strikes I'm good at are gonna get through his guard, and what he's good at isn't gonna get through my guard. So yeah, I'm really excited about this fight.
Are you one of the numerous, almost every combat athlete that likes to watch the Food Channel the week that you have to cut weight?
Oh boy.
Oh, I used to be a little bit worse for that. I'd love my friends and my fiance. I'd like, what did you guys have for dinner last night? Or what have you been eating? Just to kind of get that mental
I wish
picture.
I could do that, not eat and just imagine it.
I wish I could
Add
do
to
it.
the taste.
Drop a lot of weight.
I wish
But,
I could do that, not eat and just imagine it. I would be able to drop a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's almost like a sixth sense. But this training camp, we had enough notice where we've been able to do it so gradually that I haven't run into any, crazy cravings like that. So it's been much nicer this time around.
So Kyle, we're coming to you live from Tampa, Florida.
Or
Obviously,
St. Petersburg.
well, same thing. The Tampa Bay area. And, the biggest craze right now is cold water immersion, cold water therapy. How silly do we look that we just discovered it and made it like this new trend coming from a place where it's always cold and there's always cold water around?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've been doing the cold tub stuff for a while, pretty much since I've been in the UFC. And then before that, we'll do something called the polar bear dip, where we just, we cut out a big chunk of ice out of the lake and we jump in it for charity, and we'll do some stuff like that in Canada. I don't know how helpful that is, but I think if you got a good cold tub and you're able to mix it up with a hot tub and do it the right way, it's beneficial. But definitely stop.
Yeah, I want no part of snow, polar.
Come on, you should be the polar bear
that.
club guy.
No, I want no part of
What
that.
do you win if you do the dip?
I want to do a cold tub challenge between me, Matt, and Randy, and see who wins.
Let's do a Kyle in Ontario.
Yeah, we'll pass on that. Kyle, let me ask you this. What's the craziest, strangest, funniest thing that's ever happened, either to you or involving you in the middle of a fight?
Oh, I don't know. My career's been pretty average. I can't think of anything too crazy. I remember one time at weigh-ins, a guy he went and drank a bunch of cold water. So once you dehydrate and all that stuff, you're not really supposed to drink a bunch of cold water because it kind of shocks your system. And so what your system wants to do is it wants to get rid of that water as quick as possible. So unfortunately for him, he didn't puke it out. So it kind of flushed all that water out of the system really quick. And, it was pretty embarrassing for him.
It was pretty bad. In closing, what can the fans expect to see Saturday night? A little later than normal, but still Saturday night on the East Coast when you get back in the octagon.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be some very high-level striking. I think, my opponent, he's in the UFC Hall of Fame for having Fight of the Year. I think I've got kind of the tenacity and the cardio now to keep up with that and maybe even outdo him in that area. And then skill-wise, I think I've got him beat. So it's definitely going to be, a lot of fireworks for this fight, and you're probably going to see him go to sleep.
Awesome. Good stuff. Well, we appreciate your time. I know we have your address. We're going to send you a care package from 8 Man Strong. And I normally say best of luck, but the fighters typically say I don't need luck. This is fun, so have fun on Saturday night.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care. Kyle Nelson back in the octagon on Saturday.
Randy, what's so crazy about these fighters is the respect level they have, and they say it's so normal, and you just ask them a question about what's the craziest thing to happen. He was like, well, my life's not that crazy. I've had this great a career. They punch people in the nose for a living.
Yeah.
They are impressive people, and they're also humble, and it's so impressive to me, and I respect them so much.
And a lot of fighters, they don't think that it's strange, crazy, silly, ridiculous, whatever. But we've been told some stories where a guy said that he was fighting, getting punched in the face, saying, "Why am I getting punched in the face? I don't get it." All right, let's go hit a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the Grand Prix that returns to St. Pete in a couple weeks. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Stapson.